We are in Texas, baby, and we're at Universal Rocks. Let's go see what Stuart's got cooking. Ha-ha! Kid in a candy store. We're with the mastermind of Universal Rocks. This guy and I, we've become pals. Oh man, we go back a few years now.
It is,
but it's my first time to your what do you call
facility,
it?
Yeah,
the
rock
Willy
factory.
Wonka
Willy
of rocks.
Yeah, this is the Willy Wonka chocolate factory, but it's the rock factory, and I'm Willy Wonka.
I love it, man. I got a golden ticket, and so do you. So here we go, man. Check this out. So we're starting here. You are not just rock. You have such a
theming. We're in the theming business.
Okay,
we're in the theming business, and this little beauty here can do anything. It's a 7-axis robot. I do not know how to use this, by the way. I don't even own a computer, by the way.
Oh, that's amazing.
Okay, but my friend Lamos, the robot man, he started on this the other night, and he's going to finish it tonight.
So talk to me. This was a solid piece of foam, and the robot, you put the design into it.
So you pay for a program online.
Okay.
Then you put it into your computer over there. He puts it into his massive computer by there, and then this thing goes to work. And voila, you know, this is about 4 or 5 hours of work, and there's a couple hours to go.
So check it out, guys. This is the Egyptian sun god horse, and this just, you know, I get so many ideas. Like he said, theming, right? Can you imagine, say you're not an animal person, but you love ancient Egypt and you love all of that stuff, and you could put this up as a panel over walls.
That's the goal. Like imagine you've got a classy restaurant, different theming in the restaurant, what have you. But your idea, you just said to me a
Check
minute
this
ago.
out.
Okay, so we've done similar things in some zoos.
Okay.
But this is where you put that in an zoo exhibit where the animals are from that. You would know that better than me, what animals. Yeah. And then whether that environment, let's say it's the Mayans or out of the Amazon.
So we'd have like spiny tail iguana habitat, but the spiny tails are living in an ancient ruin
with vines and moss and waterfalls
dripping over it, and it gets patinaed.
We're like addicts.
Yeah, man. I knew this was going to be a fun trip, dude.
We haven't even started on the conspiracy stuff.
Oh, no. We'll get there too. That's going to be on the new Kamp Kenan podcast. He'll be our first, we'll talk reptiles and conspiracies. It's a good time. Oh my God. But I love this. I love the artistry. I love the imagination. And that's what this place is. You said that this is your hobby. Okay, that's bizarre because it's so much more than that. It's a
serious hobby. I'm very serious about my hobby, but at the end of the day, I'm probably not the best businessman around my hobby. I just want to make stuff, mate.
Man,
we're about like theming things, and this machine. Then you've got another machine over here, the hot wire machine,
foam wire,
like that.
All right. So to just give you guys an idea of the passion I have for this, I've always loved going to the zoos to see the exhibits. And I always, Florida, we don't have a lot of rock. And I was always trying to create rock. So I try and create it by carving it. Some of our early videos, you see me carving cement, but it's heavy. It's messy. And I started to use foam.
It's a great base. Really structural, really solid, really easy to shape. But you do have to have the skills with the cement after that, and then it becomes quite heavy typically.
Exactly. And I actually had a handheld from the Hot Wire Foam Factory. I had one of their guns, and this is an industrial size foam cutter. You see that? I don't know if you can see it.
There's a one wire there.
This is all interesting to me. This is how your zoos get made. This is how a lot of your products, your hides.
That little wire here.
We did.
Is that the one you're looking at?
That was the one I was looking at, yeah.
I think I'm a bit older than you. I know. How old are you?
I'm 51.
I'm older than him. My eyes are going more.
Mine are pretty bad. It's terrible. No, but so this thing can cut vertically. It can cut horizontally too, correct?
And it can cut spirals. See this thing in the middle?
Okay.
So there's lots of tricks to this. Again, I don't know how to use this, but it can do incredible things.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, it's here in Willy Wonka's Universal Rock Factory.
It gets used sometimes.
But you can just see, we're actually in one bay of Universal Rocks. You know what? Can we show them the vines?
Yeah.
Let's see these vines. Check this out. So, cool story. Tell us the story about who's making the vines. And, just real quick.
Okay, I have some property locally here, and I have a homeless guy on the property I've known for 10 years. And he is an incredible guy. He just doesn't want to live the conventional lives.
Okay.
And so I said to him, can you help me make vines?
All right.
And look at this. This is not the normal vines I've been doing. He's doing like 20, 30 different configurations.
So this is how they start, right? He gets a base. It's wire.
Wire start with, and then it's a filler material. Then we put our rubber on the top of that.
Yeah.
And then we do different colors of the rubber.
Yeah.
And then look at these with different artificial foliage and moss, and lichens.
And then these can be bent.
They get rolled up and just in a roll, and
shipped out.
They're roughly 20 feet long. And so this is a bit of R&D going on now with all these different styles.
But you said that he's actually pulled some stuff just to get inspired out of nature.
Look at that. Like that's straight out of the bush, not the forest.
That's right, it's the bush.
You know?
I don't know, he's from Brooklyn, if you can't tell. You can't tell his accent. The guy's from Brooklyn. He's from Australia. And what's cool is the very first time I went to Australia, I saw some of Stuart's handiwork, and I asked about it, but you had already left the country.
We moved.
I had seen what he made, and then he moved to Garland, Texas, which is where they're based now. But look at some of these. Like, I love this guy. Think of it. Ooh, don't you go dying on me now, Tom. This is like, look at this moss in here. It's got twist.
Dagobah system.
Yeah, exactly, man. How fun was that, dude? 1980. Wow, that was good. Empire Strikes Back. Nice. I like it.
This is also our Tesla coil. So this makes energy.
What?
So we
You're kidding, man. That was full of Listen, you're going to have to watch this guy because Stuart, like I said, he is a conspiracy himself.
I'm sick of paying for electricity.
Yes, so he's got a perpetual motion machine. It's him. He's the perpetual motion. Oh, this is so cool. And there's so much more to see. We've only just scratched the surface. So this caught my eye, and it happens to be one of your favorite pieces.
It's the most detailed piece.
Okay.
It's a panel. I think we're about 8 feet by 5 feet, and it's coming out nearly 3 feet.
So that's the other cool thing about the panels you make.
Yep.
You make different types. You make a wood panel. You make brick panel. You make any kind of panel that you can cover. Yeah, you can cover walls with. But here's the cool thing about the panels.
Yep.
They're three-dimensional.
Absolutely.
You've got texture. You've got depth. In a reptile enclosure is one thing, but why limit yourself to that? You have people put these in their man caves.
Oh, something like this. Put it in a high level restaurant.
Yeah.
Have lights coming around it. Frame the outside of it.
Right.
Just amazing. Maybe even put some little bits of moss on it.
Yeah, you could trickle water through.
You could trickle water, make a pond at the bottom.
I go back to my 8-year-old self. I want to turn it down flat and put all my Star Wars figures on.
Yeah, or G.I. Joes. No, I'm with you.
God,
it's like if you are hobbyists,
Honestly.
if you're toy collectors and you want a new way to kind of like present your toys, this Universal rocks. I mean, a panel this big. Imagine Boba Fett's right here. Bosk is over here.
You could do a canyon run, like
you
flying through.
Yeah, and you could get through in a couple of parsecs, dude. That's awesome. You know what I mean?
Brings out the child in you.
Yeah, the Kessel Run, dude. The Kessel Run.
I'm gonna show you the mold. It's just around the corner.
Let's check that out because
on the ground.
This really is unique. I love seeing. Hey, here's another thing, friends. You guys follow me because you like to get inspired by the people I meet. I'm inspired by the people I meet, the friends I have. And this is just another way for you to see how falling in love with art or a passion you may have can turn into, like you said, a hobby on steroids or something like that.
That's right.
But it can also earn you some income and give you a purpose.
Absolutely.
Which is what we're all here
and
for,
we
right?
employ, we're 20 guys making this every day of the week.
So this is the mold.
So this is covered in latex rubber. So this is actually dry. So we could actually take a little bit of this off.
Wow.
Quite the job getting it off.
I'll bet.
But that's what's underneath it.
No way. Okay, so that's the finished product.
This is the key, having this. So now we can use this many, many times. But getting back to you kids playing toys and stuff on it. Imagine that landscape with little toys and the kids. You could have literally.
Now it looks like Planet Hoth.
Yeah. Well, yeah, this is actually the mold. What's underneath, it lays.
No, but I'm just saying,
that's really cool.
The color and it's something else,
yeah,
right?
exactly. Get some AT-ATs and tauntauns and wampas. I'm just showing my nerd self.
I really didn't even know what any of that was.
Really?
No,
Oh,
I didn't.
man.
What is he doing?
We're of a similar age, man. A tauntaun. That's a tauntaun. Okay, that's what Han Solo shoved Luke into when Luke got attacked by the Wampa. The Snoopies. Come on, man. Are you kidding me?
I think I was making rocks then. I didn't see that.
I was making rocks in my pants. I was a young lad. Anyway, well, yeah, you know, that's another thing. To be perfectly, I wish I had these when I was a kid, because you're right. It would be fun to do your G.I. Joe battle on something like this, or Star Wars, or but it's just fun.
This came from the desert in Utah.
Really?
The molds.
So you wait a minute. You're going into nature.
That's what I love the most, and I'll camp there. I'll stay close to there, and then I'll take all this stuff to make the molds. You'll clean the rocks down. You just get off the dirt, the sand out in the desert, the sand off there, and you start painting this rubber on there. And a week later, you've got it ready to bring back to the factory. We've had the National Park of Australia, back when I was living in Australia manufacturing there, and they would pay us to make rocks to put in the national parks so the lizards and the insects could get on. It's a true story. I remember, yeah.
No way.
Because everyone was stealing the rocks from there, and on the top of the escarpment you have the thin layered rocks.
Yeah.
Well, there's heaps of geckos and lizards and snakes and insects living under that, and they would pay us to make rocks for that.
That's insane.
How cool is that?
That's really cool.
And they last a long time.
They last a long time. Amazing.
Yeah.
Holy smokes, man. I don't care how common a green iguana is. When you see a large one like that with a giant dewlap, you just want to get your hands on it, if possible.
We're going to go to this one. Let me tell you the story here. It's a funny story. This used to be a foot deep in water originally.
Okay.
And one day I was, the door out here, it's a ramp for the loading trucks, and there was a little hole at the bottom where they put the sump pump.
Right.
Anyway, I saw something move as I'm closing the door. I'm like, what's that? I lean down and I put my hand through, I grab a snapping turtle.
Oh, cool.
Well, I'm not used to snapping turtles in Australia. We don't have them, do we?
You have a different type of snap. You have you call it a snapping turtle, but it's way different than what we call a snapping turtle.
Well, in Sydney, I never experienced that.
Okay.
So I wasn't. Thank God I picked him up from behind.
Oh, yeah.
So he didn't get me. Anyway, so I put him in here into this pond.
Right.
But he was only a little baby, and he left his tail in there, and the thing bit his tail. So that's why he's got a short tail.
Oh no! Stumpy, snapping turtle got him.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, he's beautiful though. It's so cool. Look at this guy.
So
okay.
My son holds him. I just never do. So
I don't know.
He's
Oh, look at this. But look, I mean, this is kind of what I love seeing. I want to see the animal happy in this enclosure. It's nice and warm. He's got the UVB lighting. Let's see. Oh yeah. Look at this greenie. I didn't think we'd see some. I didn't think we'd see a little green. See, and I can actually hold the green iguanas here because in Florida they're considered an invasive species. You're not allowed to touch them. And I have them running around my yard, and in the recent cold snap, unfortunately, I had one die. Now these guys are invasive, but I don't care. I love reptiles. They're beautiful animals.
The problem is though, they just breed prolifically.
That's what it is.
That's it.
But look at this, man. That's so cool.
Look at that.
But you can see this little one here. Well, it looks like it might be a gal. Doesn't have bulges.
It is a girl, yeah.
So this one right here, she's got this really cool habitat. You know.
She's grown. They've grown, and I haven't made the time to make a bigger enclosure. So that's my fault.
Well, this would still be considered a nice size enclosure, especially if she's something that your son handles, pulls out. It's kind of like the Universal Rocks mascot. But this just gives you an idea of some of the really cool things you can do with Stewart's creations. You know, I mean, they're really customizable. Like you can.
Yeah. Well, there's enough molds. I swear, if we wanted to build a whole zoo, there's enough things in this factory to do the whole zoo.
I'll tell you what. I know a guy who might have a zoo and needs help. Hey, look, just simple. Again, I don't know. Is this something that you made, or is this?
This was made with the hot wire machine.
Okay.
This is. I'll be honest here. I don't like this finish. This was done, and when you use the hot wire machine and you threw petrol, you can see the polystyrene.
Yep.
So really the best way to use the polystyrene is as a structure, and then do
cover.
cement, a thick enough coat of
Yep.
cement, a little bit like this. This is going to be a mirror. This was my prototype for a mirror.
Okay.
So this is polystyrene with cement on it.
Okay.
So you don't see any beads.
You
It's
know,
looked like concrete.
do you know Tanner Serpa?
Yes.
Yeah, Tanner would be. He's done similar to what you were talking about. Like, and you know how I learned how to do what you do here. Well, not here, but when you take. I learned off YouTube. It was model
Railways.
railways.
Those guys are the masters.
Oh my God.
Although I imagine if they did a big job, they'd be there for a
For
year.
years,
you'd
because they're perfectionists,
but
right?
the detail, they are true masters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so much. My ADD is in full-blown panic mode. My cortisol. What Leo was saying, my cortisol levels are real high, low key. But yeah, I'm flipping right now because we gotta go. Okay.
What do you think of this idea?
I love it,
Above ground pond.
dude.
We got ideas for that thing.
Oh,
This is a combination of some plastic that comes from Belgium, and I didn't show you another machine that butt weld this plastic together. The challenge was making this waterproof. We've mastered that. It took us a long time, like a year, to get that. And then this has got a shear descent water feature.
Yep.
It's got a filter at the back. It's got a skimmer. It's got a jet to stir the stuff at the bottom.
do you want to know? Well, I envisioned something like this. No lie, I wanted to, on the opposite side of my aquascape ecosystem pond.
Yep.
I envisioned, and I need something that's above ground, that I wanted to look through it, but I can just tap into the filtration that
Of your
is-
aquascapes.
and just have it
That's a good
come
idea.
into here, and then flows back into the pond just through a ball valve. You have some of the filtered water coming in, and then we just have a port where it fills up to a certain level, and it overflows back into another drain pipe back into the pond.
Yep.
So you don't actually need a filtration. But you know, some of the challenges I've had this year, Stuart, was we had probably the worst cold we've ever had in Florida.
yeah.
And I have these beautiful Amazonian river turtles. They're 125 pounds a piece. They're beautiful. They're very, very endangered. And what's happening is the large 30,000 gallon pond it's very difficult for me to keep it heated.
Sure.
So I had to pull the animals out and put them in like just rectangular stock tubs. But I just think something like this, a little bit bigger, could be a good winter retreat for them.
My hot tubs will do that too for you.
Oh my God, wait a minute. That would keep them warm.
Exactly.
Because it's foam.
I want to make things that make animals' lives better.
Oh, and I've got some ideas. And you just, the hot tub's one thing. So another problem that I have that I was thinking of that you can help me with the solution is, I don't know if you remember Cayman Creek, but I've got these Cayman crocodilians, okay? South American crocodilians.
Yep.
I have one that's this big, I can easily lift them out of the cold, no problem. But I have these 6-7 footers.
Yep.
And I had to put bamboo and then a tarp over their thing, shut the filters off and leave stagnant water, heaters, and just to keep them at 65 degrees while it was 27 degrees at night. But I thought, hey, listen, what if we took either a hot tub or one of your ponds that's also foam, we sunk it into the ground, but we made a cave over it that's foam, and I can train them during the summer to come in. I'll feed them in that, because crocodilians are target trainable. They're intelligent.
Yep.
And you can get them in there, and then instead of heating all of Cayman Creek, we've got a cave with one of your ponds, one of your caves, easy canopy. I can lift. These are light. These are foam.
Yep.
And now I can just run a little well water through that, 72 degrees in there, but the whole thing stays warm in a smaller, compact area. And I think that would be better. And I think that could also be a solution for zoos as well.
I'm going to show you a cave we just made.
Really?
Yep, out the back.
Do you guys want to see it? We're on the way. Oh my, is that the cave?
It's a cave at an put on an egg.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's. The statue goes here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dude, this is like, to me, this is an exhibit, right? So you put a wire front, you got turtles in here, you got caiman lizards walking around in there, or sailfin dragons, right? Doesn't it get you guys excited, man? This is insane. It's huge.
So it was made to a certain size. I don't like making things so symmetrically perfect.
Right.
Okay, but this is a big statue goes here. The water all drips from this down. There's six places where the water drips. The water gets filled up to here.
Okay.
And it's going in a cool public park somewhere.
No way.
And then they're going to put plants of ivy and grow ivy
And
over the top of it.
And it'll just
Put some lights in it. It'll be magic.
Yeah, that's incredible, man.
Yes.
Yes, so that's it. Again, themes, right? Theming. You know, so you've got with what we do, we have the element of animals. You know, they're part of it.
Yep.
But you know, there's the plants, and you actually. You know, some of your around Slinky's enclosure, you told me, look, Kenan, this is like a planting pocket.
Absolutely.
So I got soil in there, and we got like pothos growing out of it. We've got little mosses growing out of it. And so you're taking a man-made rock, but you're also incorporating nature into it, and you're mimicking nature. And the other great thing about it is it's lightweight, and you can move things, and you can clean them. And
Yeah. Wait, you don't have to sell me.
oh yeah, that's true. There used to be a commercial growing up about the hair club for men, like, and so clearly I have not. Oh, so just it was funny. Anyway, I laughed. So this is really cool.
Okay,
man.
what
But
else?
like I'm saying, like something similar. It doesn't even have to be this large one. I was thinking, like, we make a croc cave that's thermally able to, you know, keep them warm, because that's now a new concern of mine. I don't want to get hit like I got hit again this year. It's been brutal, you know. So I'm trying to make, like you said, make the animals' lives better. And
Well, they probably don't need something that
No,
tall, do
no,
they?
not at all.
So that's the thing that makes it a lot quicker to make, a lot less expensive. So it's only a matter of, it's better the lower it is to the ground anyway.
right.
So
They want to feel secure,
Okay.
right? And then it's going to hold that heat much better. So I don't know. I'm just thinking of
Yep.
solutions to certain problems. So, let me ask you a question, friends. Which is real and which is not? Look at this. So, Stuart, this one is where you got the mold from.
correct.
Okay.
And this is too big to go in a particular size fish tank.
Okay.
So we tweaked it, we cut it and redid it, but this is the exact same piece. And that's the lightweight one. Now you pick that up, you got it.
Look at this. I can move this.
Okay.
So wait, hold on. That's real?
This is a real one.
This is real.
Yeah.
I could not. I was a little confused.
In actual fact,
So I'm
I think-
looking at it like that's not real.
I think our coloring looks better than the real
That's
one.
yeah, exactly.
The other cool thing is everything's so durable that they can climb it.
I think your
Yeah.
hands are dirty because we haven't washed this one down.
It's okay.
That
I don't
is
care.
part of Universal Rocks.
Look, I'm all filthy. I
We
don't
use
care.
crushed rock and sand to color everything. We're not using any paint.
That's why it looks
And
natural.
but this one hasn't been washed.
So it's cool. Again, you can wash it. You can clean it. You can spray
Scrub
it,
it,
bleach
you
it.
can
Yeah.
power wash it with a 5,000 PSA power wash.
Crazy. You even have full-size trees you've made.
Absolutely, huge ones. Huge trees.
It's incredible. And then look at all this.
This looks like a trash zone in many ways, but all of these, whenever you're molding things, you need to keep a copy of. If you mold something from nature, it's a bit hard to go back to nature all the time when your molds wear out.
Right.
So you tend to make a copy, the first one that comes back, and you keep that, and that's what these are. That's the version. So whenever that mold wears out, we'll come back and sort through, find our piece that we want, and then we'll take another mold of that.
So cool.
Yep.
Guys. Look at this place.
It scares me every time there's a tornado coming our way.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, it's a true concern.
Oh,
It
Lord.
hasn't been a problem, but we've never been hit directly. We've missed it by like mile or less. Let me show you a pond.
Okay.
This is a pond that I've been selling for 27 years.
Yeah.
Can I tell you the story of when I made this?
Please do.
So I made another one a little bit bigger than this, and I'm so proud of it. Look at this, it's amazing. That weekend there's a show coming up, and I set this up at the show, and I have the other one flowing into it, and there's like 10,000 people that come to the show. And the first guy that comes is this old Asian man who loves koi, and he says, "This is amazing." He says, "Do you make any bigger?" Like, I have 1,500 different things because everyone always wants something different.
Yeah. And our friends at Bush Wildlife,
Have
we
a bunch of
connected.
these, they do.
Yeah, we connected them,
Yes.
and boom, there you have it.
So it almost looks like we put a little display here. We've got coolers, we've got little ponds, we've got little waterfalls, we've got
Yeah.
panels, we've got self-contained water features.
Well,
We've
everyone
got swimming pool water features.
everyone knows your cooler because it's sitting on my patio.
And that holds
Yeah.
the temperature, doesn't it?
Yeah,
really,
really, really well.
Yes.
And then you sent me a shell that I customized and made into kind of a hide for one of my croc monitors. And that's another thing you're talking about. You know, look, basically this is my wish list on film.
Sure,
okay.
sure.
I would love to create like logs. Okay. And on either end of the log, it still looks jagged, but they're closed off on either end. But we have a little hole in here. And so the lizard can go in, and we have inside of it just like a little heat tape.
Yep.
Because I told you, and you guys know, the rock that Stuart sent me that Lola lives in, that rock has a small bit of heat tape, and her hide stays 80 degrees on some of the coldest nights with a tiny little, you know, heat tape.
Nothing. Yeah.
Right. So
Well,
it's
there's nothing better than polyurethane foam for installation.
That's
there
it,
isn't.
yeah.
You know, I think 2 inches of that is equivalent to like 2 or 3 feet of earth.
okay, which
So
itself is a good insulator.
Correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
so
It's
that's
amazing.
even better. Yeah.
Amazing.
So what I was thinking for the croc monitors, can you guys imagine instead of the, I got, you know, they're functional, but they're ugly. You know, just like an ugly rectangular box. But how about if I'm a monitor lizard that lives in the trees, where do I want to sleep?
Yep.
In a tree hollow.
Yep.
Where do I feel secure? And so that's kind of, you know, the dreaming I want to do with you. You can make different sizes. If you've got a smaller bearded dragon, or if you got a larger monitor or a tegu, then you have a hide size for each one of those.
Yep.
So 1001, 1002, 1003, more devices.
This is
so-
what actually happens. People say, oh, you got too many things. It's really hard to make my mind up what to get. And you keep talking to them and they say, but what about this? Why don't you make an umbrella stand rock? Or why don't you make a such and such? It's like, you were just telling me to stop making up new things.
Oh my God, that's so
You're the
funny.
same.
Well, you know, there's one other problem, conundrum, if you will, that I have that you mentioned you might have a solution for. I'm known first and foremost as the turtle and tortoise guy.
Yep.
And I recently had a fire. I don't even think I told you this. So I have a stone bunker where my 2 galops went in, and inside of it is spray foam insulated.
Yep.
But on either side of that was some wood, a wooden door, and then like a wooden wall. Think of this as like looking like a mine shaft. It's
Sure.
rectangular,
Yep.
but stone.
I saw it. I've seen
You've
it.
seen it.
I've
Okay.
seen it.
So what happened is I was using a heat lamp to keep it warm. They knocked it down. It lit the hay on fire and burned the wood and melted all the foam. Luckily, the animals were out and I was home. I got the call. I saved them. Number one, I'm not using heat lamps any longer
So
for
heat
heat.
tape would have solved that.
Would have solved that.
Yeah.
But can you make a structure, do you think, that's large enough that can facilitate giant tortoises?
Yep.
You can.
You know how I do that?
No.
Get a big ass balloon and you blow the balloon up.
All right.
And then you spray our material onto that. It dries in seconds. And then you spray the foam on top of that. And so you can form a dome like real quick.
Really?
And then you can put panels over it and make it look more realistic, or dig it into the ground and cover it with substrate. Obviously you'd have to make sure your drainage is good so
Right,
it couldn't
right.
flood, but yes, we can do any size balloon. It's true. I got 10-foot balloons.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, that's like if you're asking me for a wish list, it would be, you know, like some
What size opening do they need?
Well, eventually they're going to be 600-pound tortoises.
Right.
So
Are we going to still be around then?
I hope so.
I don't know.
We're talking about med bays and stuff, brother. Med bed.
Get it
That's
right.
The next one, med bed. Like, you know, like Elysium, the movie Elysium, you know, where they can cure cancer. You just sit in this
Coming
thing.
soon. They're coming soon.
Yeah,
Just
just.
gonna fix my hip. You can see me hobbling
Oh,
around.
it's
I'm
a
gonna
shame, yeah.
fix it.
Oh, this guy's usually so spry. Weren't you did karate, didn't
For
you?
many years.
Yeah.
Many years.
That's, anyhow, see how we AD people communicate. So, so anyway, yeah. Listen, if you're asking me for a wish list, and it's just a wish list,
Sure.
okay? But that amazing pond with the
Glass and
glass.
That is glass, not acrylic too. So
Yeah, that's the real
advantage
deal.
of glass. It doesn't scratch like
And it's
acrylic.
stronger too, I
Yeah,
think,
it
than
is.
acrylic.
The downside is it
heavy.
can be more brittle and it's heavy.
Okay. A house for the Galapagos tortoises and
Yep.
the Aldabras.
How many you got?
Well,
How big's the dome need to be to fit how many of them?
well, the good thing is that they like to. It needs
No.
to be about as big as this square here.
Yep.
Okay.
He's doing a circle shape and
Well-
he says as big as this square.
All right. I didn't get
Spatially
my. I don't have my protractor out.
Spatially challenged.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I took that to be about 8 foot by 8 foot.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that, or 10 by 10, 8 by 8, something like that. Just, you know, a nice structure. It should be tall enough in the middle that, you know, I can get in there and clean if I have to. You know.
So what we want to do is bring to life products that all zoos, all animal keepers can have.
Right.
So obviously, the bigger you get, the more expensive shipping is.
Right.
So that's always your challenge. But
Okay.
at the end of the day, bigger animals need bigger homes. So
Right. But we can also. I think we could also take this idea and scale it down. You know.
for little ones. For
Oh,
sure.
absolutely, and that's something that I would love to help you design
We're
and
going to,
do.
before you go today or tomorrow, whenever you're going, we're going to write down this list. So first thing is to see all the crazy stuff we've got, talk about all the ideas, and then see what I can bring to life.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, this has been a lot of fun. We still have a lot more to do and see. And we're also going to have a fun Patreon video for you guys from Universal Rocks. You guys are going to love this. And I'm going to shout it out on my Instagram as well. It has to do with RC cars.
Thank you.
No problem. Thank you. This is like dream come true. Are you kidding? I'm going to peruse. You guys go to patreon.com/Kamp Kenan. Make sure you sign up to see more behind the scenes of every video that we do, including ones with Stuart. And I'll also do a live video every Thursday, 4 p.m. Eastern. Go to universalrocks.com. Check them out. Go to Universal Rocks on Instagram. Make sure you click follow and let him know you're following from Kamp Kenan. Let him know you guys are fans of what he's doing. And hit him up. Lots of stuff to check out for your
One of
animals.
the closing things, as far as I can tell, Universal Rocks is the answer to everything.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, that's pretty good. It's almost like it's in the name. You know?
Exactly.
It's almost like someone had a really good, like,
You know,
there's only a name that says that.
my mother years ago, she's passed away, but she came up with that name.
Did she really?
Universal Rocks.
That's
we
fantastic.
Said straight away with that's it.
Yeah.
And it really is. The materials we use enable you to make almost anything. It's unbelievable.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yes, and it's dangerous.
We love moms.